You always do that, Rem. You're so
I always do.
You're so in and out with the cues.
You got to make sure I'm recording the cold
I'll
open.
be like doing something. You're like, oh no, wait, you got to stop.
Well, I love the cold opens, but you got to make sure I'm rolling tape, bud.
Yeah,
I don't know how long you guys are going to rant.
I was the one that recommended the cold opens. I was
I remember you doing that. I was like, okay, I like the idea of that, but also I don't know if you guys are just riffing or if it's actually time for cold open. So that's why I give it the countdown. And you're always like, I thought we were already cold opening. I was like,
no, I thought we were. I thought they just
the recording file is not voice activated.
Okay, well you got a little keyboard over there, don't you? You got like a little mouse keyboard
whole
type
setup.
You got a whole input output system over there. I feel like, and
lots of bells and whistles.
Am I crazy?
I don't know
is there not a button that means start recording?
I'm scared.
Am I crazy?
I don't know what half this fucking shit does.
Do you know how to fucking drive? No. And I'm scared.
I don't know what half this fucking shit does.
No.
Oh, man. Is this football? Episode 15. You know, that's 15 weeks plus a pilot week.
16 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, no.
Wow.
Okay, so we're at 14 episodes plus one pilot.
Well, this is episode 15
right now.
Okay.
And then we have the pilot. So, I mean, God, guys, that's
week.
That's over 3 months of work.
15th week.
16th week.
I'm proud of you guys. I've been staring at these mugs.
You're saying 15 plus a pilot.
Yeah, so 16 weeks.
Okay, so was the pilot not part of him? Or
no, that's not episode 1. It's the pilot. That's whether
the pilot is episode 1 done.
I was always under
the
impression that the pilot was something you take to sell a show to somebody.
Yeah, and it was me trying to sell it to myself.
It's still episode 1 as well. Still episode 1.
We're still trying to sell it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's why when you're like, it's the pilot, I'm like, oh yeah, we can call it the pilot, but it's really the first episode.
No,
but
then there's episode 1.
So it's 16.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well,
okay.
yeah, this is basically episode 16.
I got confused with the whole pilot thing. I was like, we're not selling this to a network. Like,
guys,
why
is this football, right? Episode 16.
It is. We're
15,
here.
16. It's actually technically 15.
You're never going to really know what number it is. Let's just be
keep
serious.
It mystery. Yeah. Got a lot to talk about tonight, boys?
A lot of stuff. All types of stuff.
I've got an important segment.
Big show.
Well.
I can tell Eddie's brought it up twice.
Well,
in the last
let's get this.
let's get
this intro out of the way.
Yeah, let's go.
No, we don't want to start with it because it's really good content.
What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the Is This Football podcast.
Is this football?
Is this football? My name's Dan. I'm joined here once again by my lovely friends, Edward Doyle, Ramdog Breachak.
Hello.
Hey. Thank you for returning. Obviously, Remy, we wouldn't be here without you.
Hey, thanks. I wouldn't be here with it.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Easy for me to say. Easy. I'm sorry. I'm watching some new controls I have here. I've redone the show. I'm making sure everything's going good. I'm making sure on my end, not the show itself.
I'm sorry I put you on the spot.
It's a production
there,
episode.
Remy.
Yeah, I'm just making sure that everything's going well on the opening. Sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize. I'm here. I'm in attendance. Nice. Thank you.
Well, I guess the least you could do.
That's right. Make sure you guys go to YouTube and subscribe to Tiger Cage Media. That way you get every subscription update every time we're on live. Everything we're doing for Is This Football, you can always get that. And then, of course, our sister podcast, They Call Us The Breeze, and you can check that sister podcast out every Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And, of course, make sure you're listening to both shows on Spotify if you're only a YouTube user. Make sure you're taking it on the go, cleaning the house, driving in the car, you know. Yeah, so big show tonight.
Big show tonight, as Remy said. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. But I guess we have to kind of start out with, like, just the first thing that I could think of was, like, the draft. Mm-hmm. Very defensive line heavy. Like, I feel
across the whole 7 rounds or across the first round.
Well, I really didn't pay attention to a whole lot after, like, the third, fourth, or like, you know, once, like, first round top notch, second round you kind of watch, third round.
I think second round is still just as. I think. Okay, so a couple sound bites about the draft.
There's not that many.
Obviously, the first 3 rounds are really obviously very important. That's where you're going to get the best college players. But there's a bunch of NFL executives were saying that the way you build your Super Bowl winners is from round 4 to 7, and that's what they all believe. So they put.
But see, like, how does that make sense? Like, explain.
I think
the psychology behind that to me. So you're getting
twofold.
You're building your team with the worst. With the worst NFL ready players in college.
Twofold. I think the first reason is because in rounds 1 to 3, everyone is expected to find starters in those rounds. You should be finding a start. I know, but they're expected to. In rounds 4 to 7, firstly you have more picks, and oftentimes you have.
What do you mean more picks?
Well, there's 4 to begin with.
4 what? What
picks? 4, 5, 6, and 7. You have 4 picks there.
Okay,
and
so it's the same amount of picks you have in 1 through 3.
It's one more. But anyway, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. What I meant was, oftentimes many teams trade back and acquire much more late round picks.
Yeah, they'll give
up
an early round.
So they might have 7 or 8 day 3 picks. So you're trying to, and where other teams, if they're not doing their not everyone is doing their due diligence. I'm not going to try and make out that an NFL team wouldn't be doing that. Well, but I'm just saying, if your scouting team is able to find 3 future NFL caliber players from round 4 to 7, that's what's going to differentiate you.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but that that's the clear answer for that. That's a difference between there's 2 types of teams in the NFL. There's teams that are in a position where they say, "Hey, we can potentially win a Super Bowl in the next 2 to 3 years." And then there's the other portion of the teams that are like, we're bad. We're not going to be ready for a Super Bowl anywhere close to 5 years from now. Let's build that. Like, yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch of teams that give up because, like, if it's a really good team that could potentially make it deep into the playoffs or win the Super Bowl, they're like, oh, hey, if we get a really good rookie in the first round that can come in and immediately make an impact.
And you might be willing to trade your late day picks to get up into
that's what I'm saying. If it's someone that is time pressed and they're like, hey, we need, like, we're good.
The window's open.
We're good now, but we need just some little thing to,
the window's open right now
to get us over the edge. They're going to be willing to trade for the upper round picks, where it's like the Texas Titans or the
Houston Texans.
You know what I mean? Houston Texans, or like the Jacksonville Jaguars, are just a team that's bad. They're like, well, what do we like? We have this value in our first round picks.
We'd rather have 10.
That's
players.
what I was saying. We'd rather get a larger
2 or 3 first next year, or
exactly, or just like. But that's I don't know. I'm not an NFL executive. This is just me like brainstorming, thinking like, well, that's.
I actually prefer the lottery pick. The lottery pick idea, that it's better to have more draft picks than it is to have higher ones. I'd rather have.
What do you mean lottery? That
the NFL draft is a lottery, regardless of where you pick. I would rather have. I'd rather have 5. I'd rather have 5 twos than.
Well, no.
I'd rather have 5 second round picks than, like the
5
than 2 high first round picks.
It honestly, the thing about that is it depends the draft.
It does depend on the draft, but at the same time,
the draft and the players available.
Think about
if you could get.
Look at the draft. Look at the draft.
If you could get Peyton Manning coming out of college,
right.
There's several
and when's
teams.
The last time there was one of them? You know,
Andrew Luck was definitely.
Right.
I mean,
and he played for 7 years.
Okay, well, no one could have predicted that he was.
I know, but that's the argument I'm saying is it's an unpredictable.
Are you going to argue that he didn't live up to the hype? He was incredible.
No, I'm not saying that he didn't.
If he had played for another 10 years,
Andrew Luck.
I've
always loved Andrew Luck.
He took the Colts to the AFC Championship.
I've always loved Andrew Luck, but at the same time, I don't think you draft him 1-1 under the assumption that he's going to play for 7 years only.
Well, okay, but Eddie,
But that's what I'm saying
about.
Saying
is that
so that's
no
what
one's gonna know. Okay, well,
right.
I'm gonna hire this guy, but he's gonna retire.
Which
in 7
reinforces
years
my
because
point.
of head injuries.
Which reinforces
no one's gonna know that you're gonna hire.
But that reinforces my point that this game is very volatile, and you'd rather.
There's no way you or any right-minded human being would not do anything in their power to get Andrew Luck.
Of course, but if I already have a QB that is even moderate, or if I have a Ryan Tannehill, then I'd rather have 5 first-round picks than 2 top 10s.
I mean, if you have Ryan Tannehill, why would you not draft Andrew Luck? Are we not talking about an Andrew Luck draft?
I'm not talking about 1-1. I'm talking about maybe having a 5 and a 7. If I've got Ryan Tannehill, I'd rather have 5 second-round picks than a 5 and a 7.
I've told you before, I don't think Ryan Tannehill's that bad.
I know, neither do I. I think he's the most average quarterback in the NFL.
He's a workable.
I know. And that's what I'm saying. He's the most average NFL quarterback I think there is.
I'd say Jimmy Garoppolo is more average.
Yeah, they to me, the stylistically very different, but talent-wise and game plan-wise, they
have different skill sets.
Yeah,
but
different stylistically, but
very
they
similar.
give you the same chance to win.
They're not bad, but they're not.
They're
good.
just average NFL. If I've got an average NFL quarterback and my roster is average, give me 5 2s before you give me a 5 and a 7.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But like as it goes back, it's not just whether a team's ready to win now or whether a team's
it's different strategies
rebuilding, as they say.
It depends. Strategies as well.
That's just it. It depends on the draft. It depends on the team. There's a lot of different factors that go into that. Like if the Buccaneers, that was another thing
Were you happy overall with their draft? No.
We took
some of the points that you disliked?
We took one player, one secondary player. That's all we needed. What are you doing?
I'm just knocking over your bottle of wine, but it's got a cap on it.
We took one secondary player, a cornerback, which I really would have loved, like a good safety.
Round 1?
Round 5.
Oh, wow. Who's your round 1? Oh, you traded
Logan.
33,
yeah,
right?
no, we traded out Logan Hall.
What position?
Offensive tackle. I think a
Wirfs.
Blinds. Yeah, we do, but we did just lose Ali Marpet to retirement, and then we also got rid of our center to the Cincinnati Bengals. So from what was a formidable offensive line last season,
now a question mark maybe.
Still good. Like we do still have a couple good players, but we needed another. And from everything I've seen and heard, this guy is supposed to be like a lockdown, like. He's a first day starter, potential future All Pro. Like I mean, I don't think he'll be. When Wirfs was coming out.
No, but you can still be, if you're not as good as the guy opposite you, can still be bookends
together.
Bookend with
yeah. I'm just saying, like he'll be right there. Hopefully,
but Wirfs was like the 10th overall pick, right? Or something.
He was high first round. I don't remember exactly what the number was, but Wirfs ended up being better than I thought he was going to be. But also, Wirfs has injuries, and he's not. He's incredibly good. He's very strong. He's very tough, but he does have his issues with injuries. But I will say till the day I die, a good offensive lineman taken high in the draft is never a bad idea.
Oh, absolutely. Ever. No, you're trying to build from the ball out.
There's no team. There's no circumstance. There's no scheme.
It's very true.
It doesn't matter who you are in the NFL. Like if you have Aaron Rodgers, you don't take a quarterback. If you have Derrick Henry, I mean, maybe you would
to try and split the load.
You'd get a running back in the 3rd round, but if you have Derrick Henry, you're not taking a running back in the 1st round.
No,
taking a really good offensive lineman.
Yeah, because if he doesn't play tackle, if you already got 2 tackles, you put him at
move
guard.
him around. But like I've said, from the moment I really started to understand football, when I was probably. When you get past that topical, like, wide receivers are the best. Yeah. Wide receivers and running back are amazing.
Reality,
when you really start watching football, you're really like, the offensive line is the most important.
And the defensive line too, honestly.
But that they go hand in hand.
Exactly.
Like
the trenches,
the trenches, that is where you build a team. It doesn't matter. You could have the best quarterback, best running back, best wide receivers, all the greatest pieces in the world. If your offensive line is trash, you're just not going to do anything. There's no way. To have an offense.
No, that's definitely true. We've seen that on multiple occasions. Did they have any picks in the later rounds that stood out to you, or in round 2 and 3? Or not really.
All the picks that I saw that they made were people that I didn't really know a whole lot. I kind of looked at a little bit of tape on some of them. They all looked. Yeah. Of course, I'm watching their
highlights.
I'm watching their college highlight tapes on YouTube, so they all looked. I was like, oh, they look okay.
Highlights for the Bills. We got.
Yeah, what'd you guys
Kyer Elam in the 1st round. They moved up. Kyer Elam is the cornerback from Florida.
Okay.
So they got him.
Yeah, but that's another thing. Like, you guys weren't really in need of secondary positions.
We did. No, cornerback we needed.
I thought you guys have good safeties.
We only had Tre'Davious White. That's it. We had Levi Wallace starting opposite him for the season.
Tre'Davious White's good.
I know, but he's coming off an ACL tear, and you need more than one corner.
Oh,
we didn't have a second corner. We lost our second corner.
So you wanted a corner. I just thought that they had the secondary more or less. You guys had the best defense in the league last year.
Statistically, but not in reality.
Well,
we padded the stats against teams like the Tech. Our defense was
top 5 defense in the league.
Right.
You're not that bad.
But the weak point was probably the boundary secondary. We've got a great safety duo in Poyer and Hyde, but the boundary the corners were, other than Trey White, who got hurt.
You gave up some long balls last season,
and we lost Levi Wallace too. And let's not forget 13 seconds. KC with 13 seconds, some of that has to be put down to. I mean, it's mainly coaching, but some of it is boundary play as well.
It's funny how not the exact same way, but the Bucks and the Bills both were knocked out of the playoffs this year by long late game throws that had no business going anywhere.
No.
Any reasonable defensive player.
Mm-hmm. Or coaching.
Any reasonable coaching defensive player, any type of deep coverage, that never happens.
Yeah. Well, we've seen in the Bills KC game, Kelsey comes to the sideline because the first throw goes to Tyreek Hill, and they're giving him 10 yards, which is understandable. He's the fastest player on earth.
Fastest human being alive.
Right. Well, who plays football, but yeah. But
I'd say he's
I don't think he beat Usain Bolt.
No, I think he would.
But we're not going to argue about that right now. But Kelsey comes to the sideline after the first play, and he's like, I'm on the outside shoulder of 58, which is Matt Milano, and I've got so much space in between 39, which is Levi Wallace. I'm in between 58 and 39 every play. If you see Hill go on out route, I'm going to have 10 yards in between 58 and 39, and the next two plays they go to Kelsey in the exact same order. That's terrible coaching. Dreadful coaching.
30 and then
it's just
20
dreadful
yards.
Coaching. But anyway, I just want to mention two more Bills picks that I really liked. The second round, they got Dalvin Cook's brother.
Okay, well, before you go, what were your? Because I hope anybody that knows, as far as the Bucks, our secondary was our needs, which we did not fulfill. But what was the Bills' needs going into the draft? What do you feel about was the most positions that you needed the most?
Okay, so 2 points. I just want to. I think when you fill your needs through free agency, and then you go BPA in the draft. That's my understanding of how you should run your franchise.
Who are you looking to get in the draft?
That's what I'm saying. Going into the offseason, pass rushing was an issue. We got Von Miller. That immediately upgrades our whole defensive line. So that's relatively decent. We really needed a cornerback. We lost Levi Wallace.
That was your first round pick?
We got Kyer Elam, yeah. We could maybe use some help on the offensive line. We'll see. They might get better this year. We got Dalvin Cook's brother in the second round, who is James Cook coming out.
Did he go to FSU?
No, he went to, I think it was Wisconsin, I think. But
interesting.
Yeah, either way, we got Dalvin Cook's brother, who looks like a bit of a nightmare matchup, similar to how Dalvin Cook. And I think Dalvin Cook was a second or third round pick too.
He might have been first.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, no, Dalvin Cook was high first, maybe second round.
And then later on in the draft, in the fifth round, we took Punt God, the guy who can kick it 200 yards out of Fresno State.
Wait. You took a punter in the second round?
Fifth round.
Yeah. So
he was the third.
So the Bucks took a punter in the fourth round, and I was absolutely disgusted.
I actually really like the pick. I love doing that.
Dumb.
I love it.
I love
it.
Punters.
How many guys are you going to get that can come in? How many guys are going to come in and affect your team immediately?
I could punt
that?
the NFL.
You can punt it 80 yards on every single snap.
Yeah.
No, you couldn't.
Yeah.
You could do that in between fighting the wolf and then...
I could. Yeah, I know. I do it all at the same time.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're going to take a little break. Remy's got to smoke some dats out here. Get a little nicotine fix.
He's got to
get his little... He's got to get his fucking hit. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the Is This Football podcast. Had a little draft stuff going. Go ahead. What was that? I'm sorry. I thought that I heard something from somebody. Is that
I was getting ready to say something, but I didn't know you were continuing your thought process.
I was just saying we were talking about the draft. Now we're talking about something new.
Yeah.
Well, in light of what we were talking about pre-roll of the music on the YouTube intro, I was going to say we should discuss the top 3 worst places to hang out in St. Pete.
Oh, okay.
Just places that you hate going. Do you know what I mean? And we'll do 3-2-1. Do you know what I mean? We'll do 3-2-1. I think.
There's so many places.
I know, but just have a think. I'll go first because I've had time to think of it before springing it on you guys.
I mean, I can go. Number 1 right now.
No. But wait, you're counting down 3-2-1.
Are we
Can't go
talking
through
like
some.
DMV and stuff? Or are we talking
Oh,
about
that's
like
a good point.
restaurants?
Okay, so that's actually a good point.
Or are we talking about like
Yeah.
restaurants?
I think okay.
Well,
why don't we
I-
do? Listen. Why don't we do?
Let's do DMV aside because I think
Okay.
nobody likes being.
I've
at
got
the
an idea.
DMV.
Thanks for the input, Remy. Why don't we do 3, 2, 1 on places, restaurants / bars, or in like nightlife, and then we'll do an honourable mention for something that isn't part of that sphere and we also hate.
Okay.
I'm gonna do my 3, 2, 1 on restaurants and
All right. Well,
bars.
go ahead. Stop keeping us waiting. Let's go.
Okay, just relax there, sir.
Okay.
I would say third last is that I'm going to include the 2 places. One night stand and the place next to it. Thirsty
I
First.
knew that
That's
was
gonna,
coming.
It's not the very worst.
I knew
but
that was there. Do
that
you
is a
include the
horrible
estate
place.
into that?
No, I actually quite enjoy the estate.
into that
I
little
think the
group?
estate is obviously a dog shit club.
I don't like the
It's a dog
estate
shit
at
club,
all.
but at the same time, like I can have a decent enough time in the estate. I can't
Yeah,
have a good time
yeah.
in one night stand or the other place next to it.
No.
My second worst place is the place where they do the adult games.
Park and Rec.
Parks and Rec.
Park and
oh
Rec.
god, it's terrible.
No,
It's absolutely dreadful, man.
It is
Oh, I've
pretty
got another
bad
one
there.
too, but I can't use it now.
it is pretty
Um,
bad there. Wait, what? Why can't
I had
you use
another
it?
one because
What,
I've already
Noble
done
Crest?
3 and
Is
2.
that what it
No,
was?
no, I've got nothing against Noble Cross at all.
I don't know
No,
if you're gonna get saucy there.
no, I've got nothing against Noble Cross.
All right.
No, but I was going to use. Maybe I'll use this as my honourable mention, but and then the first place, I feel like this is obvious, and I think you'll both agree. It's just the whole of the First Friday strip on First Friday.
Well,
That's-
yeah.
Oh.
yeah.
Is that too? Is we not allowed
5.
to do that?
No, that's
Yeah.
fine.
We're
That's
not allowed
totally
to do
fine.
that.
I
It's
mean,
too-
Well,
Because-
that was going to be one of mine.
That's
too,
Yeah,
what
well,
you
I'm
took
sure
it
we'll
from
have
me,
some.
you
No, but
know.
we'll have some that are synonymous with each
Cross,
other's.
yeah.
You know,
No,
we're gonna have some cross hatred.
no.
Do you want me to do my honourable mention or no? Let's go around one more time and then we'll do honourable mentions.
Okay. Am I going next?
Yeah, sure. Or unless we're let's see what.
I'm gonna group my 3, 2, and 1 answers together and just say Tampa.
Wow, yeah.
Wow, that's yeah. I mean, and I get it.
If
yeah.
anybody listening, which I'm sure you have, which I don't know how many listeners we have, but
we
anybody
have
that's ever
Sanji and one other.
anybody that's ever been to
I
Tampa
didn't know
knows,
we were allowed to do that.
Yeah.
And that's my answer, too.
I
Well, then
didn't
give us
know
3
we were
things
allowed
that you
to
really
do
don't
that.
like about Tampa. Then.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Anybody that's ever lived here for a certain amount of time knows, and they can tell you it's a very well known thing that when you're going over the Howard Franklin Bridge, when you're going from St. Pete to Tampa, you get right kind of to that point where it's like, oh, you see the sign, you're entering Hillsborough County, and there's just like a nasty shit aura that like washes over you. Everything gets a little grayer, a little shittier. The people are worse drivers. People are more assholes. Things just don't smell right. They're disgusting. It's just like it's the worst parts about like a big city like Miami
Without the good parts.
without all the good Miami
That's a good
parts,
point.
you know. And it's just big enough to be a fucking shithole, but not big enough to be like a good shithole.
I get it.
You know, but
That's a good point. I've never actually had a good time in Tampa.
conversely, when you're in Tampa, you go over that bridge, you get right to the point where it's like you're entering Pinellas County, and it's just like a ray of sunshine. Like the clouds open up, and it just you just feel better. You
It's
just
very
feel
true.
you get a little like pep in you. You're just like,
true.
oh, it
Well,
feel-
yeah.
you
And
know,
it's
when-
actually worth the
it's like,
$2,000 a month
how
rent
many-
rather than the. It's
how
worth
many
the extra
times
1,000 a month. In
I
rent.
know you've lived here long enough. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if you ever have this sensation, but every time I have to go to Tampa for anything,
Yeah, of
and
course,
then
I
I
hate it. Yeah,
get
of course.
back on the other side of the bridge to St. Pete,
Mm.
it's just like, oh God, thank you.
Yeah, no, I don't like.
It's
Yeah, it's like you're back on land.
No
Yeah, yeah.
It's like
matter
you're back
what
on
you're
land.
doing, you could be going over there to like
for enjoyment. Yeah.
to,
yeah.
Casino.
to a
We
casino,
went to the casino.
or
Or,
going to a
or
bar
music.
or
Yeah,
anything.
music. Yeah, yeah.
You get back over that bridge to St. Pete, and it's just like, oh, I'm home. It's like I'm not in that nasty
This is true.
place
This
anymore.
is
Like,
true.
everybody that's been here, that's lived in St. Pete / Tampa for a certain amount of time, sometimes there's those random dumb fucking Tampa assholes like, Tampa's so much better than St. Pete. It's only ghetto people in St. Pete. I'm like, oh.
I would say I'd
I'm
argue
like,
that it's
oh,
more. Is it not
oh,
more
baby
ghetto
girl.
in Tampa?
1,000 times more
Yeah,
ghetto.
yeah. I was
See, that's the thing.
Dude,
It's
go-
not just
go-
ghetto. It's ghetto and trailer
Go to
trash.
Ybor on a Friday night, Saturday night.
yeah,
dude.
yeah. It's
It-
like
it-
first
Tampa
Friday
Bay is
on-
also the meth cap. Like, I know it's not like an official thing, but like Tampa's like the meth capital of the world. You want to see more meth doers and dealers per capita go to Tampa Bay, and walk down fucking Nebraska, Florida Avenue, do anything like
near
that.
the
It's
university, isn't it?
It's what?
It's near the university, I think. Near USF.
Well, that's a little bit more north, like kind of towards like Busch Gardens and all that. But I mean, it's there too. Just like anywhere in Tampa, it's just gross and not fun.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that.
I don't like the beach only because of the cops. I like the beach itself. Like I like the sand and the water, but
I could leave that for sure.
Yeah, but like
it's not my top three most hated things.
Like people are always
I
like,
don't need to go to the beach ever.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
But do you know what I mean? How kind of like when you get to the beach, it's a little bit different of a vibe.
I'm always happy
like
to leave
in St. Pete.
I'm always happy to leave the beach.
It's similar where it's like
when it's time to go home and be in the comforts of my own home.
Yeah.
So excited.
Or just the comforts of my own people, where like the downtown squad. Do you know what I mean? Like I could happily. The St. Pete beaches are beautiful, man. Like geographically, like you said. I know you said that.
I'm saying
but I could happily
beaches.
not go back there. I can happily go there less than once a year.
But it's not because of the beaches. It's because of the land that's just opposite the beaches.
And also
it's like if you're on the beach, it's great. But if you go to any restaurants, bars, or anything like that on the actual
and the people
beach,
that are there, the tourists and stuff,
like,
it's just so much. I'd rather go to Fort DeSoto than I would than the actual
I'd rather
beach.
be secluded.
Well, if we're able to use all three of our picks on one pick, I'm gonna be really annoyed.
Well, I did two there. And I made them broad picks. It was beach and Tampa.
Well, I'm going to be pretty annoying and just say every bar and every place I love downtown St. Pete before the pandemic versus after the pandemic.
That's fair enough.
When everyone has
so
moved,
basically
everyone
just
has
the
moved
influx
down
of
here,
moving
and
around.
now every place has kind of become overpopulated and annoying.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
Yeah.
I get that. No.
So everywhere.
Oh,
is
and
basically
shit, and
what
also,
you're saying. Is every business
and not
establishment
just
that we frequent.
not just that as well. Like not just to do with nightlife, but just going about and trying to do your errands now is an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
Going anywhere is a nightmare. Driving
in
is
general.
dreadful. Driving is terrible.
I've been thinking about getting a car. As bad as it is and as horrible as I've been thinking, I'm like, I should probably just
good luck in the used car market right now, man.
Well, I know.
I couldn't find anything for less than 15K.
I know I could find something, but
it's just how bad is it going to be? Do you know what I mean?
No, it's basically just, but like I'm still waiting on my motorcycle. The guy texted me today. He's like, oh, I guess I got to put some new fucking front brake lines in. He's had the thing for a goddamn month.
Yeah, he's had it for a month. We were over there together a month ago.
Sure. I'm just kind of like, all right, bro, you're the fucking motorcycle mechanic. You let me know.
But not charging you more, though, right?
I mean, he's discussed that there might be a cost for more parts that he because he fixed it, thought it was good, and then he's been continuing to fix it. But now he's like, it's to the point where I'm going to.
And this is the guy that's touted as the greatest bike guy in the county.
Robert Dunferman is the first person that.
I thought there was multiple people.
It was
statement.
Bobby and then Luke and then two other friends.
That's a bit of a ringing endorsement, to be fair.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I do honestly think that he's been very upfront. Like, I don't think he's jerking me around.
But that's what I'm saying. Maybe the bike's like beyond.
Well, I don't. Well, no, he said it's not beyond. He just said it's worse than he originally thought it was. And like I said, I told him from the beginning, I let the bike sit in a garage for like 3 years. Which, if you know anything about motorcycles, the number one worst thing to do to any motorcycle is to let it sit without running or any type of
cars
action.
in general. I mean,
any engine,
cars too. Any engine, if you just let it sit somewhere in like a dark room and not run for years and years, it's not good for it at all. But I don't think he's dicking me around.
No, I don't mean that. I'm just saying it's just such a difficult situation that that someone who's touted as so highly skilled is having such difficulty with it.
Okay, I thought you were saying
no.
I just I mean it's brakes, so it's like it's a weird,
pretty dangerous.
Yeah,
but no, the driving situation is just nuts, man. Like I dread having to leave the house and actually go out and do stuff.
Yeah,
and then you like get to the location where you are. Let's say, for example, you have 3 or 4 errands to do. And like they all include obviously being in public and going out into the public sphere. So like by the time you're done with number 2, you're like, I can't fucking do another. I can't be in another line for 25 minutes. I can't drive another 40 blocks to somewhere else then wait in a fucking line for 25 more minutes and just be around these annoying fucking people.
And it's always the worst.
And it's always the worst people. And that's the thing. It's like
terrible.
And what is going on with the worst types of people coming here? I don't know what's going on.
It's all the shit that the other states don't want, and they're sending them here. They're like, man, I've done something way too embarrassing to ever go back to my hometown. I'm just going to go to St. Petersburg.
But it's worse now than it was pre-pandemic. by a mile.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I do think that might have something to say. Like, I think the pandemic, people were legitimately just like, I need to reevaluate my life. And because I mean, let's be serious.
A lot of people moved down here because the rules and restrictions
being open. Yeah, no, I get that.
Oh,
we were
well, that
just
too.
open.
But that's
I mean,
all
a lot of
basically
people
done
did.
now, though. There's no places that are really like. I honestly believe that people were like, took a look at their lives and they're like, I don't want to live in Minnesota anymore.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, we
I don't
can't-
want to
we
live in
can't all
fucking
live
Idaho
here.
anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
We
Remy,
can't
you're
all-
preaching to the choir. You don't think we
So-
know there's like, I get it. Like, I don't want them here either. I hate New England people
Yeah.
so much. Anybody. If
Except for
you're-
you, Mayo. We love
if
you,
you're
buddy.
from New England, love you, Mayo. But if you're from New England, get fucked. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm tired of this.
if you've moved down the
childhood
last
trash.
2 years, just I mean, come on,
Just
man.
go home.
And it's always if they're not the white trash, then they're the pastel wearing shorts and golf shirt.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
They're bad, not quite white trash.
They're
bad,
they're not white trash, but they're the
All
Parks
right,
and Rec
so we-
special.
yeah,
the Parks and Rec.
It's
They're the Parks and
it's
Rec
the
on a Friday.
It's the bougie version of white trash.
Before we
It's
alienate
like rich white
half our
trash.
fans on accident, so we did.
none of those people listen
we
to
did
us.
the-
Don't fuck them.
We did.
Fuck
the-
You think half our fans are from New England?
No,
I
I'm
don't
just
give a
kidding.
shit about anybody listening from New England. You know you're bad. You know you're terrible.
I'm going to frank that statement.
Yeah, you know you're a horrible human
Well, we
being.
did the 3 places that we don't like, and me and Benson kind of cheated. But
I mean, but
what was
still.
the other one?
Yeah, no, I had
Oh,
two.
the honorary mention. I can do an honorary mention if I'm just sticking with bars
No,
and
you
restaurants.
said the
that I'm-
Benz. That
No,
was
no,
your
that
one.
wasn't one of my in my.
I
Bottom
know that
three.
wasn't in your
It's not my
block three,
bottom three.
but that's what's got us talking.
That was
about
the-
this
that
as
was the
places
catalyst,
that
just
you don't want to go anymore.
It was just a catalyst because of the behavior that, not the behavior that happens there, just the people there are annoying as fuck now. Like
It depends
it's all-
on what people you talk
Yeah, of course.
to. Eddie.
No, it
You
does.
Got there. You know,
But
there's
it's
a bunch of
difficult when you
cool-ass
sound
people there.
when you sound like I do because people automatically just attack you with paying attention to you. So like, no matter what happens,
You're right.
no matter what happens, I have to talk to annoying people because and they're always the people that can't not speak to someone who
Why
sounds
do
like
you
this.
have an English accent?
Honestly, so
Why
that's
is that?
it's a different ballgame
What-
for me and you.
Where did you get that English
yeah.
accent?
But no, the honorary mention for me, I'm sticking with bars and I'm going for 548. I absolutely hate the place. Just the people in it as well.
Not a fan.
Yeah, it's gotten
The
gotten a
people
lot worse.
in it as well are like they're some mad weird blend of like I don't even it's weird.
It's an extremely
It's a
eclectic
proper weird
group of people.
blend
You're not
of
wrong,
people that haven't had friends ever, and now they're learning about somehow how to form
Human
relationships.
connection.
Form relationships, but it's with each other, and none of them know how to do it. So they're all just sort of. It's weird. It's a weird place. It's got bad energy, and it's next to one of my favorite places in St. Pete.
Did
so-
either one of you guys have a account there when they did the 50% off service industry shit like 2
Yeah.
or 3
Yeah,
years
yeah,
ago?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
you guys did all have that. Like when it was that,
that was different.
pre-pandemic when it was that, I went there regularly just because I would go
50%,
and this
yeah.
is honestly I think this is before Whiskey Exchange was
Yeah,
even there.
absolutely.
Oh, that's another
Whiskey
terrible
Exchange
place.
wasn't even
That's
there.
another dreadful
It was
place.
just 548 and
You're correct.
What it was
You're
fucking
correct.
Sake Bomb. Then what was it?
It was Sake Bomb.
No, it was,
then
it was the one. It was the.
I remember
the
it being
punk bar.
Sake
Food
Bomb.
bar, right?
Yeah,
It was
all
Food
that
bar.
shit was.
Well,
yeah.
that was before.
No, not Foo Bar. That was Uptown. Is what it
Foo
was
Bar
called.
was farther down. Foo Bar
I
was
thought it was
where
Foo Bar was whiskey.
No. Where Mangosteen is right now. It was like it was
Oh,
on
the corner of
it
that
was
one.
on that block. It was more. It was the next block down. Foo Bar was a little bit down, but
Yeah. No, it was
Remy, what's-
Sake Bomb for a little while before it was
yeah, it was
542.
Sake Bomb.
548. Remy,
well, no,
what's-
but the one
what's-
right next to there that's Whiskey Exchange.
What's
What
your
was that
take on
before?
Whiskey Exchange, Remy? What do you think of
Whiskey.
it?
I've never been inside.
Horrible place.
Whiskey
Really bad.
Exchange
It's not
was
that bad.
it was a
You
couple.
don't- you
It was a
like it?
couple of like
That one's not that bad.
it was for a very long time, like a couple of tailor shops and things that were never open and presumably closed forever, and just kind of there.
Like the pawn
It
shop
was
next to
just
Steve's.
eating. It was just eating up space. You know what I mean? And then that became Whiskey Exchange. If I'm not in my mind, in my history,
It was something.
walking that block. I mean, I've been going to Emerald since I was 20.
Oh wait, do they still have that like little salon in there? Did it? It didn't become
Don't
the
know.
salon.
Don't know
did it?
that.
Okay, I could be wrong, but yeah, no. Whiskey Exchange
Is
is
this
one of those.
football? Hey, thanks guys
Whiskey
for hanging
Exchange
out with us
is one of
tonight.
those one of those places I don't hate.
I don't hate it, but I never want to hang out there.
You seem very.
I just don't want to hang out there because it's just horrible music.
I've never
really
been.
loud
I've never
bro
been in
step.
there.
Yeah,
really loud bro step.
That's another thing I dislike. I'm gonna.
No, wait.
I'm just gonna do categories, places with unnecessarily loud music.
So then you don't like Whiskey Exchange because it's got the loudest music in town.
It's not bad all the time. Oh, it has the loudest music in town.
Other than places playing.
Have you ever been to
$5?
$5?
I think it's
Have you
louder
ever
than
been
$5.
to the old McDittons? You ever been to a one night stand? Well, you ever been to the estate? Way louder.
Well, the
music.
estate's different because it's a club.
Yeah, louder music.
But it's different. People go there for the music.
Louder music.
People don't go to Whiskey Exchange for bro step.
It does have louder music, though.
What does Whiskey Exchange?
No, the estate.
Oh yeah, of course it does. It's a club.
Yeah.
I don't think those other places do have louder music.
Whiskey Exchange it really. I think this ultimately comes down to how busy these places are. Whiskey Exchange, when there's not that many people in there and it's not that busy, isn't that bad. When Whiskey Exchange is terribly busy and it's got a bunch of people in there and they're fucking doing the rave shit and it's like,
What would you give it out
there's
of
like
10?
a DJ. It depends on the time of day, dude. I've been to Whiskey Exchange at like 2 p.m. when it's lovely.
Oh really? I didn't even know it was open in the daytime.
Yeah.
All right, 8 o'clock on
I
a
think they
Tuesday.
open like 11.
8 o'clock on a Tuesday.
8 p.m.
Yeah, on a Tuesday.
7 out of 10.
7
Or
out of
6,
10,
6 out of
nuts.
10. 6 out of 10.
Nuts.
I would say like 10 p.m.
You'll hang
on
out anywhere.
10 p.m. on a Friday, 2 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm giving
Maybe
it a 2
a
on
1.
I'm giving it
Maybe
a 2
a
on its
1.
best time.
No, it's not that bad. Whiskey, like they
It's
got,
expensive.
they
The
have
music's
good old
terrible.
fashions.
The clientele
You
are
can
bad.
get old fashions there on I think Monday for like $5. Like
Okay,
they
that's actually quite
do.
good.
That's what I'm saying. They do have certain specials, and I'm pretty sure regularly their old fashions are like I think $10, which
It's
really
standard.
isn't
It's
that
standard.
bad. That's
Yeah.
what I was just gonna say. Like $10 for an old fashioned is not insane.
Yeah.
Like they do have expensive cocktails, but Whiskey Exchange is one of those places like it's okay. I'm not going to say I dislike it.
I would
seriously.
never ever try to hang out there. If I ended up there,
I get
then
dragged
so be
there.
it.
Well,
Yeah,
Caleb
yeah.
and Jenna, that's their.
Yeah,
I've walked
they're-
in
they're
there.
about-
I've walked
they're
in
about
there.
Like it doesn't mean I do.
Yeah,
Well,
I've
no,
walked
I'm
in
not
there. I
saying
didn't
you
buy
do.
a
I'm saying
drink.
we
I just
go
said
there with
hello,
them.
and then I walked back out. We saw them
Yeah.
as we were passing, and we're like, hey.
Yeah.
ran
It's
in
a
and
place
say
you get taken to. You would
Yeah.
never choose to
But
go
yeah,
there. You know,
No, not for me. I don't know.
it's not for me.
I like Emerald. I like
Emerald,
Steve's. I like
Steve's.
Blue Goose.
You like the
Wayward
bars
Goose.
you can smoke inside.
Well, not necessarily. I mean, Goose you can't smoke in. You know, but
You're
I
going to
still-
sit here and tell me you don't like bars you can smoke
No,
inside.
I'm just saying I still go to Goose and you can't smoke in
Yeah,
there.
but you
know.
prefer to smoke in the bar, don't
Yeah,
you? There,
I fucking-
yeah.
I love it.
Don't fucking.
Especially during a
Don't
fucking,
try to deny it over here, right? He's like,
Especially-
I don't know if I like the-
especially
the
during a
smoking
fucking hockey
bars."
game.
Yeah.
Especially during a fucking hockey game, I'd like to sit at the bar and I'd like to
And
stare at a TV and be able to
suck that little
just
white
fucking
nicotine
suck
penis.
smokes and just fucking take shots every time they score a goal and fucking drink fucking
That's
mad
a nice.
beers.
That's a
And-
nice way to do it.
I mean, it's just a fucking
Shots
nice
when they score
time, you
goals.
know. It's
That
an
is a
event.
nice time.
It turns it into it's cheaper than going to the goddamn stadium. That's
That's
for sure.
why you're upset about yesterday's because you got to no shots.
Oh yeah.
To what?
Yeah.
You
Well,
got
no,
to
I
do zero shots
actually
yesterday because the
as a
Bolts
result,
the
I
Bolts
ended up
didn't score
doing
any goals.
Oh, I'm sure he did shots. I don't think that like
As
he
a-
does shots when they score goals. It doesn't mean he's not taking shots when they don't score goals.
as a result, and I don't want to talk about it because it's only going to get me upset. I don't want to talk
That's
about having
hilarious.
last night, but
I want to
yeah,
recharge my batteries.
But I did take some shots after the game. That's for
Yeah, I
damn
mean,
sure.
it had to come up at some point. How about that game though, man?
I mean,
is that it?
No,
Oh.
we
We can open
I'm
the
not
next
trying to
segment with
dog.
it.
I'm not
We can
trying
open the
to
next
stop
segment
us
with it.
right when we start talking about it.
I
But no,
mean,
but we do have to take a little
ultimate terrible performance.
We can talk
Like,
about it after the break. What do you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A brief-
No, we'll
brief
get into
talk
it.
about it
We're,
for a
we're going
minute.
to take a little break, guys. Thank you for joining us. Please don't go anywhere. Stay with us.
We'll see you. Bye.
Let's with that bigger. Let's roll into the third period.
Welcome back, guys, to the Is This Football podcast.
Is
Thank
this
you,
football?
thank you for continuing to watch / listen.
Listen.
Excuse me, listen.
Listen.
Session. Remy, am I out of my mind, or did you not have something to say before we?
We were trying to talk about the Lightning game last night.
But yeah, I mean, I don't want to talk about the Lightning
Alright,
game.
well, we can just
much,
leave it
but,
then.
you know, like
nobody wants to.
yeah,
talk
but
about
you know,
it.
we did lose, and you know what? We've done this in the past. We've lost in the first game in the first series, and we come back and we fucking kill it. And I am not giving up hope yet. A lot of big upsets last night in the first round. You had Minnesota getting beat out, completely swept by the Blues, 4-0. You had fucking Carolina Hurricanes beating out Boston 5-1.
Yeah, but not a shock though.
And
Carolina
that was, I mean, their fifth
already.
was an open net goal, but still.
Yeah.
And we lost 5-0, not even with an open
more
net.
Shocking, yeah.
And there was a really bad coverage from Vasilevsky with this. There was a weird bounce. It was something happened there in one of those goals where he just couldn't get back around at the net, and it was kind of an off play, and it looked weird. And but either way, we won. We lost fair and square. And
you see, that's exactly where I think we're fucked. I know if
that's a good point.
I've brought it up before that I am an eternal pessimist for all my teams. I am always.
Well, you have to protect your heart. Your emotions.
Yeah, well, no, that's exactly why.
I can't get crushed.
I always, any team that I love, I always say, we're going to be bad. And then when we do end up not being terrible, maybe doing a little something, it's like, it's a pleasant surprise.
So you also have
I'm
to
never
put the
like,
juju
we're gonna win the Stanley Cup. But the thing for me that just absolutely, it makes, like, for all the people, I talked to several people like, oh, well, it's not that bad. We're... it's the first game. It's a series, and it's not.
If they lose tomorrow, they're in trouble.
It's not just the series. For the last 2, 3, 4 months, Vasi doesn't look right.
Yeah, but
Vasilevsky does not.
I don't want to talk about that.
normal.
I don't want to put that out into the universe.
Remy, am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
Am I wrong, Remy? Vasi does not look right.
You're not.
He looked great for the first half of the season. I don't know if it's an injury. I don't know if it's
wrong?
nerves. I don't know what's going on. I mean, like I said, please tell me if I just sound like a
no, you're not wrong.
Psycho out of left field.
But I would like to not put those bad vibes into the.
Well,
the
I'm
air.
just talking here.
Yeah.
I'm not putting any vibes that aren't already into the atmosphere. I'm just saying, for me, the eye test. All of our other players are like
we beat
not
the Leafs.
Playing
we
terrible.
beat the Leafs in Game 7.
Oh, 7 game. Oh.
That is it. We beat the Leafs in Game 7.
But you know what I'm saying, though, that we have the best goalie in the league, and going from what he was the last 2 seasons and what he contributed to the 2 Stanley Cup teams and the way that he dominated, won the MVP of the finals.
Yeah, he looked a little shaky for Game 1.
And not just Game 1, bro. He's looked weird for I don't know what it is. I wish they would come out and tell us more shit.
Yeah.
As I know he had an injury a little while ago, and then he came back and he was good. But then they started rotating him and putting in other people, which I was like, hey, maybe they're just trying to get the other guys a little bit of time.
Elliott, yeah.
They're just trying to get those guys in, get them a little bit of experience, like make sure they're prepared for the playoffs in the event they do have to come in. But that also, I'm like, why is Vasi being subbed out? Like, are we scared that he's going to get hurt? Is there something going on? Like,
I think
what do
across
I
the
not know?
board-
He's not that old. He's like 26, I think.
Well, you had a score from tonight from the other side of the games, like the second night of the play. There was another shutout score tonight, or close to, that you were watching.
Wait,
you were
which-
keeping
The
an eye on?
Avalanche are up 6-1.
Yeah, but
That's what you're talking
that's
about.
still second period. What are you talking
I'm just
about?
saying, yeah, exactly. Some weird things seem to be happening on Game 1. There's
Yeah,
a lot of landslides one way or the other.
You're not wrong, and
Except for in Pittsburgh, where they're into overtime 4.
No, that and the Islanders. I mean, I think I would rank both those teams similarly. They're both good. I'm
Well, that's
not
just it.
scared of either
If we
one
can
of
get
those
past
teams.
the fucking Maple Leafs,
But,
then we
yeah.
have to play either one of those.
But it's the
We're good.
Maple
We're good.
Leafs.
Yeah,
Like, that's what I was telling you earlier. It's like, from what I've seen this season, the Maple Leafs are stout. They're not bad. They got a thick little squad there. Like, they got some players. Islanders and Penguins, I'm not worried. Like, we get into them in the next round. I'm not super
Don't stop
terrified
believing.
by
Don't
the,
stop believing.
Like I said, I believe. I want them to win. I would never in my life, lose hope. But it's just the keeper, the Vasi thing just fucks with me. I don't know what's going on, man.
We'll get it back.
I don't like what I don't know. If I don't, I'm looking at it just like I can't quite tell.
I don't know what any of this shit is, and I'm fucking scared.
And I'm fucking scared.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. But I think the way it's going to happen is we're going to play the Rangers.
Do you think
in
it's
the
going to be
second
Rangers?
round? Us and the Rangers. We're going to win against the Leafs. We're going to play the Rangers. We're going to win out against the Rangers. Now, I am not sure it's going to be Boston and the Panthers. And
well,
I'm
the
not
Panthers
sure
are down
who's
1-0
gonna,
already to the Caps.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that.
I
It's
have
gonna-
faith in them winning that series.
It's going to be
The Caps are good,
Boston.
they're not
It's going to
that
be
good.
Boston and the Panthers, and then I
would
don't
agree.
know.
Wait,
if
so we're taking Boston to beat the Hurricanes?
Well, we all know if Boston beats the Canes, and then Boston beats the Panthers, and we beat.
Yeah.
Then
There's a lot to
you're
happen.
getting
for
a
that to happen.
That's
tattoo.
the tattoo.
Yeah.
That, yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's your update for now. I mean,
Terrible
it's
bet.
it's just looking like the first game for all teams. I mean, not a lot of teams, but a lot of teams. It's kind of just slanted, man.
Not
I mean,
a lot of
just
teams, but a lot of teams.
5-1, 5-0, 4-0.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's some shit going down in
Yeah.
the league. So, we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see what happens game 2 for everybody.
That's tomorrow, isn't it?
Yep. That's my lightning update.
I got the hiccups now.
that's
Are you going to be?
So if
done
anybody
with-
hears anything as far as hiccups go, it's me. And I'm sorry. I didn't plan on
What have you
on
been
the-
up to today?
homework.
yeah.
I took a test, got a 98.
Good for you.
It was my
Good,
final exam for the
Nice,
last
buddy.
class I was taking.
Good man.
I have a 96 in the class, but I just literally just fucked off with the last. It's like every week we got a bunch of like assignments,
modules.
quizzes, and stuff like that. But then like the tests and stuff like that. But the very last thing you got to do is like a little discussion post. It's like 20 points or something like that. I just said fuck it.
Yeah.
You know, for the last one, I was like, I got a good grade. I know I'm gonna ace this fucking exam, and I was just like, you know what, fuck you and your discussion post.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
asshole.
Discussions are worse than anything else in
It's
university.
just so
the very
dumb.
worst.
And then when they make you reply to other
Yeah.
people, you gotta like look
very
for
worst.
other people's discussion
very
posts
worst.
and like
The
do
very
some
worst.
type of like introspective, like, oh, you
Yep.
know what, I really liked what you said,
Yeah.
and like take it with my thoughts and beliefs. I'd like to just let
Yep.
you know about how I'm
Exactly.
feeling right now.
No,
I'm
it's
just like,
terrible.
no,
It's absolutely dreadful. It's the worst possible part of university, actually.
it's bad. It's not great.
Dreadful.
Wouldn't know.
Yeah, it's bad enough. Bad enough, let me tell you that.
It's never too late.
You know, before we go tonight,
It's not too late.
this is a sports podcast.
What are we done?
No. We got like 10 minutes left. I wanted to talk to you guys. I got a question for both of you guys because I
Oh,
know
here we
you
go.
play soccer. I'm sure you played soccer.
Yeah, I did.
In league. I never played soccer in league, but I played baseball.
Thank God.
Yeah. Played baseball. I played a little bit of hockey and a little bit of golf. Actually, played golf in leagues and lessons and things like that, and for a little bit. Any injuries? Any notable injuries you guys might have sustained while playing sports as a kid?
You want to go first? You want me to hit
I
this?
can.
Yeah.
Mine was not playing professional football. It was playing football.
Professional? Who played professional?
I meant organized.
Oh.
Yeah, not playing in a league.
I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Like street ball?
no. Yeah, well, yeah. and
Pickup
then-
game.
Yeah, exactly. And then basically it was on concrete though. And I
Oh,
was,
smart.
yeah, and I was tripped up whilst running and wasn't able to use my
He
hands.
catch you from
So
behind.
my face just took the full brunt of the concrete, and I lost my bottom 4 teeth and
Whoa.
fractured the bottom part of my jaw. Yeah,
Baby
It
teeth or
took
adult
me,
teeth?
Like adult teeth. I was-
Adult,
yeah,
you
my
lost your
I've got 4 fake
four
teeth at the
bottom
bottom, and
adult
my
teeth.
top my left incisor is fake too. I have 5 fake teeth in the front of my mouth.
That
And then-
automatically beats every story we're
Yeah.
going to come up with.
I don't have. Well, see, the funny thing about that is, are you still have?
Oh
more
no, I was just
story,
going to say
or is
that there
we'll
was,
go around
that
and
they obviously I got a lot of work done on my jaw and the inside of my mouth, but
Jesus
they weren't the
Christ,
dentists
Ed.
weren't able to fully take care of the issue, which I believe was that the root on one of them died, but the tooth didn't die.
Yeah.
So I was having a lot of issues inside my gums.
Oh, yeah. Pain. A lot
and
of pain.
and like a lot of like nasty shit going on down there. So I spent the next probably 5 to 6 years of my life until I was 14, 15 trying to figure out what the situation with my jawline was and all that.
Wow.
So then they finally got to the bottom of it and did 2 more root canals to remove
How many
the
root
teeth.
canals have you had in your life?
Multiple.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, a lot.
I've never
Had
had
a lot
one,
of
but I've heard they're
surgeries on my
terrible.
jaw, a lot of root canals, fake teeth put in. I've had teeth glued together, all because of that one thing.
Probably why you're a hypochondriac.
No, I think it is to do with, especially
Probably
touching
something to do
around
with
my
it.
face and
Yeah,
my neck.
no, like your
I don't
whole
like
face,
people
neck, like
touching
head thing,
anywhere
you're not,
around
you know.
my
your dome,
upper,
Afraid
your,
somebody's
your
gonna knock
bubble.
your
I don't
teeth
like
out.
any of my neck and my
Bubble
jaw.
boy.
Yeah,
Damn, dude.
that's it. So yeah, that was my.
I did not even
younger
know that.
teens.
That was not a prompt,
Yeah, I
ladies
know,
and gentlemen.
right?
That was not
No,
even
that's
like a...
and that's why when people are like, "Have you ever broken any bones?" I was like, "I actually have
Broken all my
fractured
teeth.
part of my jaw and stuff
And it
like
was
that."
sports related,
And
too.
people, and it's. I don't ever go into depth
course
about
it
it, but
was.
no, it's
Of course it
yeah,
was.
it's pretty.
I feel like
quite a lot of
Benson's
work,
probably
actually.
got something kind of...
Well, no, my I do have a story about me, but before that, based on his story, because I'm not going to top that story. That's a much better
Yeah,
injury
you definitely...
story. I
that's
got
the
nothing
best
on
one.
that. I do
Yeah.
have one that I will share, which is a lot less interesting. But there's another story. My father, however old you are when you like first get like your full adult teeth, it's like 12.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That like 11 to 13 age range, whenever you like you kind of start getting, you lose your baby teeth, but he had just gotten his like full set of adult teeth, whatever age you are. He was at a pool in Indiana, is where he grew up.
It's horrific.
Yeah,
Actually.
don't ruin it.
I'm not. I don't
And
wanna hear it
him
either.
and his friend were like fucking around, and
It's
they
your
were
dad. This is your dad?
my dad. They were like wrestling, like throwing each other in the pool, and at some point they decided to like get on the diving board, and they were like wrestling, like kind of trying to push each other off the diving board, and at some point like they, one of them tried to throw the other one off, and then he got like swung around, like comes off the diving board, lands off like in the pool, full body, like basically belly flop, chin right on the edge of the pool. And that breaks out
it's
all
really
of his
a
teeth.
lot to even. I've
Every
heard
single
that
one of
before,
his
and it's a
teeth
lot
gets
to hear
knocked
that.
out and shattered.
That's-
It was so
It's
bad.
horrific.
It was
It's
so
horrific.
bad. I'm not even kidding me. His top row of teeth, like as they shattered,
thinking about it.
he had a scar.
I'm having a really difficult time with this one.
He had a scar on his bottom lip right here for his entire life, from where his teeth came like over his bottom teeth and came down out of his. Like his jaw got snapped so hard that his top teeth came down and got ripped out of the bottom layer of the bottom lip. So he had fake teeth for his entire life. Well, I mean,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, no, I know. Like I said, it wasn't me, but that when he brought up the teeth thing, I was like,
yeah. And I think that's probably where you told me about it before. Was
Yeah,
me telling
we
you
were
my story,
drunk.
'cause
I
we've
told you something
and I
about
remember
that,
it
yeah.
just makes me cringe because
Nah,
that's worse than mine.
And then
but
I
it's-
remember when he told me that, I was like, "Are you fucking
oh
kidding
my
me?"
gosh, it's just horrific.
And then
man.
his dad, my grandfather, was right there, and he was like, "Yeah, his mother was pissed." He said he got to the hospital, and the first thing he told the doctor was, "Please don't tell my mom."
yeah, that's hilarious.
They're like, "You're fucked up really, really bad." He's like, "Please don't call my mother."
Yeah,
That's
hilarious.
all I'm concerned with, sir. It's not my own health.
Yeah.
He's like, as bad as this hurts, I don't want to hear it from my mom
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
So just like, don't call her. You just do your thing.
That's brilliant.
But for me, my story, only really bad one I've ever had, other than like, I always say like I've been very lucky and blessed playing soccer and all the sports that I did to not ever have any like
Long-standing
serious knee / like, I think I pulled my hamstring once, but it really wasn't even that bad. It was like a light pull. The one thing that I did have that fucked me up for years, but it was a very light injury. I pulled my groin one time when I was like 13, 14, which
Soft
it's
tissue.
but it's one of those injuries that like you do it hurts and then you recover, but like
It's not healed fully. Yeah.
well, that's what I'm saying. It's like it'll feel better, but not quite fully back to 100%. And you're like, well, you know what? Like, it I can feel it a little bit. It doesn't. It hurts a little bit, but I'll go for it. I can still play.
No,
and then you'll go out and re-hurt it
yeah.
really, really bad. And you're like, fuck, what was I doing? And then the same thing will happen 2 months later. I'm like, yeah, like I'm starting to feel good. Like it's not fully back to normal, but like I'm just gonna go out there and run. And so that fucked me up for a while. But I broke my wrist, and I'm not kidding, like 6 bones in my wrist. It was my ulnus and my radius. I don't know if you've ever seen like an X-ray of your hand. There's like several bones. Like from these 2 bones, there's like 1, 2, 3, like 4 bones, like all kind of in there before your fingers start. And I had like shattered all of those bones.
Jesus.
I literally came down, like I tried to, it's such a simple, weird, like dumb injury. I fell back onto my back and I tried for some reason
to catch yourself.
To catch myself, but I landed, my wrist was totally vertical and I landed like all the weight of my body just like this. So my whole wrist just got crunched like that and fucked everything up. That's that scar right there.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I've told you. That's the scar right there. Those were 2 pins that went into my bones when they were like healing the bones. Craziest shit of the whole situation was I got the cast off. Pins were in there, and literally the pins are just these 2 metal forks that are like sticking out of my flesh. The doctor's like, well, we're going to take these pins out. And I'm like, okay. I expected like anesthesia or some type of shots or something like that.
They just pulled them out.
Well, and the funny thing is, it didn't really hurt at all. I'm not shitting you at all. He had pliers, and I'm talking like your dad's pliers from the garage. Like,
Well,
I'm not kidding at all.
With the edge of the pins outside of the skin the whole time.
Yeah. Well, the pins were like this long,
and the edge of them
my
outside of it,
and then it was just like a little like hook.
Yeah,
at the very end.
And you've got a cast over it as well.
Yeah, no, I had a cast over it, but the dude literally, it was him, and then another like doctor, nurse,
Who's
whatever,
restraining you,
holding my wrist down, and he almost didn't even really like ask me, and he just literally, I'm not kidding, just ripped him out.
Didn't hurt?
It didn't. I was so surprised. Didn't hurt at all. It just, it felt weird.
Yeah,
you
felt
it was a weird sensation,
like,
and
of
it started,
pulling through your hand.
I expected to start dying. I thought I was like prepared to start crying, and I for some reason I like couldn't talk because I was about ready to be like, what is going on here? Why are you about to do this? He just grabs them and just yanks one. I was like, what? And then he grabs the other one and just, I could like feel it leaving my bone.
Yeah, but it wasn't
like
hard.
the exit of a needle.
Didn't
really
hurt.
It's not really like cutting through a whole lot of like fresh like meat and shit. You know?
I'm not a fucking doctor, man. I don't know exactly how that stuff works. I thought it was going to hurt a lot worse than it did, but that's my basically only serious injury from my sports playing
I've never
days.
had an injury playing sports.
My last one was actually not me, but I broke David's collarbone, my brother David's collarbone.
How?
Playing rugby when I'm 12 and he's 7 is basically just the older brother beating the shit out of the younger brother.
Of course.
So fucking monster. What are you doing?
Kill the carrier.
Well, no, it wasn't.
Kill the carrier.
Friend,
It was.
Edward.
Yeah, we used to play kill the carrier. Is what we played.
Smear the queer.
No, obviously it was.
We don't have to say that.
No, obviously it was accidental. And you know when like the younger sibling starts getting really upset, you're like, oh no, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Don't worry about it.
Don't tell mom.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah. We'll be fine.
It's okay.
It was that bad.
I promise you
it was that bad.
Yeah.
Breaking the clavicle is one of the most painful things you can do.
Oh, I'm sure.
Terrible.
So yeah, obviously I feel bad about
I could have broken my neck and my clavicle.
Wow, that'd be something.
One of the injuries I did have. I mean, I used to play roller hockey indoors, like for a league on rubber tile, but it was roller hockey. But we had like the pucks, the full boards. I mean, it was a full size. It was a whole deal, and we were doing drills one day, and I was skating back and forth doing these drills, this line to that line, this line to that line, this line to that, and you had to, quick stop, which normally would shed ice when you stop like that.
The cool stop.
But yeah, so you're doing the cool stop because you have to like hustle back to the next line, and I was going so fucking fast. It was goal line to goal line at that specific move, that specific drill. And I was going goal line to goal line. And I was hustling. And I went to, do the fancy stop at that goal line. And I just
didn't work.
I stopped and then my body turned like a meter. And then I started heading head first towards the boards behind the goal. And I literally just knocked it right there on the side of the head and the shoulder, and I slid to the bottom, and I guess they said I was knocked out for about like 5-10 seconds, but they said I was good to go. And
But
yeah,
broken
so,
clavicle,
you
though.
go.
Broken clavicle.
but
is
I could
very
have
painful.
hit something or broke a neck or a clavicle.
Yeah,
Lucky,
yeah.
I just landed right on my and I
It's
just
scary.
knocked,
There's
knocked
somebody-
myself out for a minute.
And some of the hits you see, especially
And
in
I stopped
professional
playing
hockey,
baseball.
are really, really
Yeah.
scary,
Terrible.
man.
Way
Like,
worse.
One of the,
I would say worse than football.
I think so
hits.
too, as
So
well.
much worse. You can get going so much faster on skates,
and not
like,
to mention the protection's lesser.
Yeah.
They don't have.
I
they
don't- they
don't
wear
have the full. Yeah,
pads.
but not the full scale helmet that the football players have. You know.
I mean, they still have it. I mean,
I
I don't.
yeah, maybe.
I don't think.
I
with,
think that hockey
with,
might be
with
more
those
violent,
types of hits, the helmet isn't as important because very rarely does the head itself get hit. It's just when their bodies come together. It's like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
It's very jarring,
yeah.
isn't
It's the snap. It's not like their
Yeah,
head
it's
gets
horrible,
rocked.
actually.
It's like they'll be looking one direction, skating as fast
Yeah,
as they
your
can this
equilib-
direction.
yeah, your
and
equilibrium
then
just
they'll
gets completely
get
fucked, yeah.
broken
Yeah, yeah.
in half. It's like their head might hit the ground, but like the players that hit them, they're not going for their head.
No, no.
They just catch them like right in the ribs.
I also,
and their body just ragdolls.
I also quit playing Little League baseball because we were into pitching, and I was becoming the pitcher, and I had pitched a game already, and I was slowly becoming the pitcher of the team, and I was practicing with my older cousin in the backyard at pitching range. And he fucking nailed one, and it hit me directly in the chest,
You're just like, I'm done.
and knocked me on my ass. And
You're just like, I'm done
I was
with
like,
this
no
bullshit.
way, dude.
No
Like,
more.
I was like, that could have hit me in the fucking
I've
face,
had
dude.
enough.
Like, I was like,
This is good
no.
enough for me,
I was like,
yeah.
cool, I'm going to learn how to play guitar.
I've had enough. Thank you
that's
very
funny.
much. I'll take no more balls to the chest.
That'll do.
Just fucking
I'll-
line drive
I'd
straight to the sternum. Knock me back.
No
knock
more
me
of that.
back. Yep, that was it. That's all I needed.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, hey guys, this has been you know,
Are we
this is
done?
Football.
That's all
Yeah,
I
I
got
mean,
for this week.
yeah, we're basically
okay.
we're at the hour mark.
I didn't realize we were done. Hey, didn't you have something else to say? I thought you had. No.
No.
We were all
We
good?
could whisper sweet nothings for the next
don't
like
know.
30 minutes.
No. Well, 30 minutes. I thought we had like another 30 seconds. I mean, recap of the show. Tampa's terrible. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want to. I don't want to harp on
Some
it too
draft,
much.
Some
Just
draft notes.
bad place, bad people is nothing to be liked or had over there. If you have to go, I'll go over there every once in a while. Hit International Mall, you know, maybe a little Busch Gardens, Lightning game, if I absolutely have to. But
Yeah.
other than that, I mean, it's, you know,
Well, but we had fun tonight. You know,
we did.
We had a good
I think
time.
we had a good time.
It went well for how little
We got in
had
all the
planned,
topics,
you know.
Yeah.
It's nice to just do some.
Well, I just like
candid
seeing.
talking.
Can I just
too.
say I like seeing you guys? You know, because we haven't been out. Shit, we haven't been out of the bar.
I
Like,
know.
you know, I mean, not so much with you, Eddie, but like on Sundays sometimes.
You've
like,
been busy, Remy.
Yeah, I've been hanging out with mom and dad every Sunday, so I haven't been hanging out and slutting around the bars at Sundays. You know, and
Slut.
I kind of miss it. I kind of miss
Sleuthing
it.
around.
So I only get to see you assholes every Tuesday, and this is nice.
How many
you know?
times are you going out then, Remy, these days?
Mainly just every Monday night, yeah. And then, but sometimes not at all, you know. So
Yeah.
it depends. We're getting older. We're getting
Yeah,
older.
no, that's it. I'm happy to not be going out as much.
Yeah, but it's nice when
'Cause
we
I'm
do,
just
and we really
really
ought to
feeling
soon.
the,
We really ought to go get some darts going on.
Maybe. I'm just really feeling
Always
the
down.
laying low a little bit. It's quite
Yeah, no,
nice.
I'm feeling that too,
Because
man.
like I just feel
I'm
like
down.
when I'm
and
out,
you guys
I'm
are about to go.
not necessarily enjoying the being out in St. Pete at the moment.
You guys are about
because-
to go do your New Orleans trip.
Orleans, that's
So
it.
We
That's
are.
gonna be
What
about it.
was going to be our New
Yeah.
Orleans trip until
And then-
you
well, that's
so graciously bowed out.
yeah. I have a hysterectomy coming up that
No.
that month.
It's a high colonic.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Well, any final notes, guys?
Oh, thank you for joining us. Nothing else. The draft was terrible for the Bucks, and they've
Pretty
made
good for the Bills.
another massive mistake in just picking, you know, two people that are okay and a bunch of other people that just don't mean shit to anything. Like I think we got another tight end.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like this, you can't.
Still got Tom
there's
Brady.
None
yes.
of the players other than the offensive linemen that they drafted will make any impact on the season. I promise you. Won't happen.
Yeah, but the eternal optimist.
If we don't get another at least good cornerback and safety in the offseason through some type of trade or something like that, we're never gonna make it deep in the playoffs. It's not gonna happen. We need a secondary. We have no secondary. Our defensive front seven's good. I'm not going to get into it. I don't want to like harp on it and keep going. We can do a whole other podcast on it, but
That's
we
right.
don't have enough time.
Maybe we will next week, guys.
Maybe.
Make sure you tune in, guys. Make sure you go to Facebook.com and check out both the pages. They call us The Breeze and Is This Football? And make sure you're also going to YouTube and subscribing to the page, Tiger Cage Media. Get all the updates from both podcasts. Check us out every week, man.
It's a great podcast.
Yeah. We'll see you guys next week, right?
Yeah,
Thank you
that's
guys
it.
so much for joining us. We love you.
Good luck with the hysterectomy. Oh, we'll have one more in between you and the hysterectomy.
Of course,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yes, sir. All right, good
All right,
night,
that's
everybody.
allegedly.
We'll see you guys. All
The
right, bye.
alleged hysterectomy.